I thought I had turned my phone off, but I guess I hadn't. We are going to be talking about voice clones, fake voices, AI being used for all kinds of deceptions, especially having you that your families have been kidnapped. We're going to go to the FTC website to tell you all about what is going on with this. And then we're going to go to this New York Post article where this woman thought, I guess, a family member had been kidnapped. They only need, this is what they're saying now, scam only need 3 seconds of your voice to clone it.
Yeah.
Oh, let me back up. Ms Legalista here, aka Attorney Sheila. Glad you have joined me for this sort of. I wish I didn't have to have this conversation, but I guess I have to have this conversation. Back in the day, it used to be, oh, well, a lot more information, a lot more samples of the voice in order to be able to use technology to put something together, clones your audio sound, your voice. But now they're saying they only need 3 seconds, as little as 3 seconds. And what they do is they take 3 seconds of your voice. They can now uh, use whatever technology. Okay. The other thing that they do is they then check you out on social media. So they've tracked you down. Think about me. I have hours, hours of audio on YouTube. I've shared things on Facebook. So there's tons out there. People really could probably just splice it, just use my real voice. But yes, they go on social media. They look at your information that they have up there. How else would you know who to say that they've kidnapped? They check out your family. People are doing a deep dive on this. Let's go to the FTC website first because I want to give a little background. This article just came out last month, and this is the Federal Trade Commission here. So I want to tell you what the government is saying about this. I has even been saying some things about this too, but I'm going to go to the FTC's website first. It says chatbots, deep fake, and voice clones, AI deception for sale. It says you may have heard of simulation theory, the notion that nothing is real and we're all a part of a giant computer program. That would be that whole matrix theory, right? All right. So I want to scroll down here to this part that says most of us spend lots of time looking at things on a device. Thanks to AI tools, synthetic media, or otherwise generate content, a growing percentage of what we are looking for is not authentic. It's not real. It is fake. Okay. And it's getting more difficult to tell the difference. You guys, who can? Those movies, the models, of that. It all looks real. You know, they're doing such a really good job. It says, and just as these AI are becoming more advanced, they're also becoming easier to access and use. Some of these tools may have beneficial uses. Think medical research, that sort of thing. But scammers can also use them to cause widespread harm. Now, this is the part where I really want to do what they're saying here. Generative AI and synthetic media are colloquial terms used to refer to chatbots from large language models and to technology that simulates human activity, such as software that creates deep fake videos and voice. Evidence already exists that fraudsters can use these tools to generate realistic but fake content quickly and cheaply, disseminating it to large groups or targeting certain communities or specific individuals. They can come after you. They can use chatbots to generate spear emails, fake websites, fake posts, fake profiles, and fake consumer reviews, and to help create malware, ransomware, and prompt injection attacks. They can use deep fakes and voice clones to facilitate imposter scams, extortion, and financial fraud. And that's very much a exhaustive list. You heard that, you guys. They are saying, hey, we could go on and on and on with this list. There's so many ways that these fraudsters can deceive you and get you out of your money or have you over financial information, confidential information. I want to go to this to this New York Post article because I I think it was just a really good example of what happened and this how this person got caught up in. This is not the only person. I'm telling you, this is um this is starting to become more prevalent now, and this is that out of many that I saw, but I thought I'd start with this one. AI clones teen girl's voice in $1 million kidnapping scam. Quote, I've got your daughter. This article just came out. Today is April 21st. This just came out 2023. I'm telling you, this is recent, you guys. This is happening now. This is not some sort of thing that's going to happen in the future. This is happening now. I've got your daughter. Let's see what it says. It was a dead ringer for her daughter. Artificial intelligence has taken phone scams to a frightening new level. And Arizona claims that scammers used AI to clone her daughter's voice so they could demand a $1 million ransom from her as part of a terrifying new voice scheme. Now, first of all, let's just be realistic. If you're the fraudster, why are you going to ask for $1 million? Most people have $1 million sitting around. Like, even if you say, well, you can sell your house. Okay, you got to find a realtor, put your house on the market, put it under contract, get somebody to and close, get somebody to buy it and close, like all that. Sometimes I think the scammers, even though, like I said before, they're working 24/7 holidays and they don't take vacations, I think sometimes they are not thinking these scams through. They're still working on this and tweaking their model. But just the idea that your child has been kidnapped is enough to make any parent go, okay, what do I got to sell to get them? What do I have to do to get them back? And fraudsters know that. So that's going to be the biggest one right there. One of the things I was thinking about when I was thinking about this, I'm like, okay, so we need to have a family go to word so that if something happens, we can always say, hey, well, what's our word? We have a special word. And if they can't tell you that special word, then you know it's we all need to implement that sort of special word among our family members so that we all have that kind of protection. Okay, that's just one thing I was thinking about reading this. I was like, okay, I got to know it's for real. All right, let's go back to this article. She said, I never doubted for a second it was her. That's the freaky part that really got me to my core. It's just, yeah, it came from an unfamiliar number. Her daughter is 15 years old. So of course you're going to want your daughter back. I mean, this is just was on a ski trip. She remembered that her 15-year-old daughter was on a ski trip, so she answered the call to make sure nothing was amiss. She said, I hear my daughter's voice, and she says, Mom, and she's sobbing, and she's like, Mom's like, what happened? It's like, Mom, I messed up, and she's sobbing and crying. This is her daughter, right? And it's not. And the person goes, listen here, I've got your daughter. You call the police, you call anybody, I'm going to pop her so full of drugs. I mean, as a parent, you're just mortified at this hearing this. I'm going to have my way with her and I'm going to drop her off in Mexico. I mean, this is just a problem. You're like upset. It says he initially asked, but then lowered the figure to 50,000 after the person said she didn't have the money. Exactly. Like, who has that money sitting around? But again, just hearing bits and pieces of what sounds like a family member on the other end of the phone is enough to get you out of the mode of thinking clearly anyway. So at this point, you're going to be running on emotion, making decisions based on emotions and how you feel. Because it's like, I gotta get my daughter back, gotta get my daughter back. I'll do whatever I have to back. So this is what is going on. Using fake voices. I mean, fake voice will get you to all of this. It says, whoops. Yeah, okay, we got a lot popping up right there. After calling 911, they confirmed that Bree was safe and sound on her skiing excursion. She said, but the entire time it was completely her voice. Her voice. It says, as it turned out, her progeny never said any of it, and the voice was devised via an AI relation, like a case of long distance ventriloquism. Can you just imagine that? Yeah. It says in the beginning, it would require a larger amount of samples. Okay. now there are ways in which you can do this with just 3 seconds of your voice. 3 seconds. And with the 3 seconds, it can come close to exactly how you sound. With a large enough sample size, I can mimic one's inflection as well as their emotion. You guys, some of this stuff. It says that's how Robert Patrick sent 1000 robot in the sci-fi classic Terminator 2 Judgment Day parrots the voice of John Connor's mom to try to lure him home. Remember that? Even in the place, and I guess the last part when they were fighting or whatever. And yeah, so there are a couple of places in that movie. Have to go back and watch that movie now. We're like, oh yeah, I remember that. But that's it. And it says, indeed, FBI experts warn that fraudsters often find their target on social media. You guys, on social media. Okay, here's what you need to know. If you have it public, you're allowing yourself to be scammed by people like this. They're going to be looking for public profiles that have as much information as possible on you. And when they get that, they're going to dig into you. In order to prevent being hornswoggled, he advises asking the scammer a bunch of questions about the abduction that the scammer wouldn't know. Exactly. This is also looking out for red flags, such as if they're calling from an unfamiliar area code or national number. So, you know, this is very troubling, very, very troubling. Thankfully, she found out that her daughter was safe, number one, and that there was nothing extra going on. But this whole idea of AI being used to create voice clones and long distance ventriloquism, that's a new one. That is a new one. You guys, there's not a whole lot you can do when other people are out there creating these scams. However, there are ways for you to figure out what red flags to watch out for. And the FBI just went over that a little bit because most of us are already public. Okay. At this point, there's how many people on Facebook? How many people on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram? There's so much content out there now of everyone. It, it would be hard for you to go back and start trying to take all of these things down. Even if you did, it still is in the cloud somewhere archived. So it's going to be very hard for you to do that. And for those people who need a public persona because it's part of your profession, then that too makes it difficult for you to say, okay, well, I can't go into hiding. And who wants to live their life in hiding? Who wants to live their life in hiding? Nobody. What we're saying is you just need to be cautious about scammers. I keep saying that. But we all get taken every now and then, right? There have been some instances where I've taken or almost taken. Yeah, there have been some instances where I've been taken. But don't get taken by the fake voice, the voice clones. All right. Hopefully you got something out of this video. If so, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. I'm out of here. Peace.